Hey everyone, I know it's been a while that I've posted. I know I recently tweeted about the fact that I'm preparing for my certification exams, and in trying to prepare for these exams, it's really not easy. I'm trying to do as much as I can while trying to finish the whole syllabus involved for the exam. So recently, from the title, I definitely know it's about the Az104 exams. If you're following me on Twitter, you should have seen when I tweeted about the Az104. I took it, then I failed, and and now I'm going to take it again, and blah 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 blah, stuff like that. So let me look. I'm coming. Let me just look for the date. Okay, what day was that? So I've been preparing for the certification since June 13. So I want you guys to be part of the process. See, this was when I tweeted about the fact that, okay, I want to start preparing for certification exam. That's June. Then tweeted about, let's see. This is October. I took the Az104. I took it, this for tweeting about that means I took it a day before or 2 days before. So I took it around either September, the last day of September, and now I tweeted about it. So I said, wrote the Az104, didn't make it to the pass mark, and it was this and stay. So from this, I was able to learn from my failure. The pass mark actually is 700. I had 680 something. That was quite okay, but I didn't make it to the pass mark. That's still the fact. Then from that, I would like to share you my experience, and for those trying to prepare for it too. Like we said, this channel is not just about the wins and achievement, but also the processes. So look at it. The first one was June. So you see, I told you about it since I've been preparing since June. Then July, August, sometimes you can't really fully prepare. You just have to take the exam like that. And I took it in September. So that's like 2 months. Then I'm taking it again this month. So October, November. So we could safe to say like that's 6 months into. I've been using Azure for 6 to 7 months, which is one of the requirements, although that's what is there, but it's not necessary. If you can focusedly hunker down and build projects consistently for a month or two, you are actually good. So let me quickly give you my own experience from it. So my Az103, no, I took the Az103 is now retired, so I took the Az104. Now, first things first, I noticed from the exam when I first did it was very long. And it's been long I've written exam because of most of the exams I've been doing were like school, and currently we're not into session, so the exam was very long, close to 200 minutes plus. That's like 2 hours plus. So I had to sit down. There were sometimes I zoned out and just zoned out of the exam, and I had to come back again, look at the question. I was more of the mind like, let me just finish this and get out of here, because first, the questions were long. I don't know if I was just not having it that day, but the questions were very long. And secondly, there were some new areas. So like, okay, I've written some of them here. So these were from the time I failed. So long hours, yeah, the exam was very long. 200 minutes was actually very long for me, if you know what I mean. If you're getting questions that you don't anticipate, not like you don't anticipate, but if you're getting questions from new topics you never touched, exams tend to be very long. It's just as maybe the time does not want to end. I got new areas were involved, such as Kubernetes and containers. So I've actually done something with container, but I've done something with Docker, but I haven't done something with the container on Azure. Same thing with Kubernetes. I haven't actually set up a Kubernetes cluster on the Azure platform. So these were the areas, and there were also some things about commands and stuff like that, but I had not done them. So I was getting a lot of questions, close to 10 or 15 questions from that side. And if you don't know something, I will always say remain calm. That's number 4. You have to remain calm, because I was trying to figure it out, but actually what you don't know, you actually don't know. Also, there were case study questions. So case study questions were more like scenario questions, rules and different things. There were case study, like if you're working for a company, exactly, that's how case study questions were. So it's more like on the job kind of questions. They give you the requirements, they give you an overview, They give you the problems the company is currently facing, and they tell you, they now ask a series of questions on how you tackle the problem. But it's OBJ, so they give you the options. So they can tell you, maybe, I think part of the agreement is not saying the question, but I'm just trying to paint the picture. Part of, I don't want to breach Microsoft exam policy, you know. So, and also, yeah, the exam was wide. So since it's not really, it's not like it's like a step before you get the DevOps professional certificate, the Azure DevOps professional. So it was more wide. It was a bit wide than, it's not more depth. It's not depth first. Like, it's more about width and trying to have a little bit beyond surface understanding. So you have to have like medium level understanding of, you know, the all things you're trying to do. If you're trying to set up some load balancers, if you're trying to deploy and all of that, so you have to have a little bit of knowledge about wide areas like networking, the Azure Active Directory. So those areas you have to have knowledge about it, and a little bit beyond the surface, I would say. You have to clearly understand what exactly it is you're doing. So develop clear understanding of key terms, commands. Yes, commands were coming, and port numbers like HTTP 80, HTTPS 443, your simple messaging block, numbers and port numbers like that, and load balancers, how they work, how they interconnect, when you're meant to use a standard, or if you are using an internal load balancer. Services, you have to know your plans, you have to know resource groups, and you have to know like where can you do this. If you want to do A, where can you do it? If you need to check your cost for, if you have been using Azure cloud platform for, you know, close to, let's say 3 months, and you want to check where exactly, how long is your total cost before the month end, how to set up costs, how to set up like this clear costs alerts or cost alerts, such that if you've used 30 or 40 or 75%, you want to get an email or a message, you have to know what services does that, and you have to know different things too. You have to know health alerts and things like that. So let's look at the, so this is the Microsoft Azure Administrator. This was the exam, and yes, so this is it. The thing is it can vary. Now see, they said this content of the exam will be updated on January 27, 2021. So if you're going to be taking this exam after, I think this was what happened to me also. No, it's not like an excuse, but the exam got updated. I was preparing for Az103, then Az103 got retired, then I had to take Az104, not knowing, you know, Az104 contains new stuffs. Now, if you'll be taking this exam after this day, I would definitely advise you come and download the exam skill outline again, so you don't get like gaslighted in the exam and see some new stuff, and you just have to get weak. So this is the Azure Identity Storage, blog files and all, deploy, manage, exactly. These two, deploy, manage, and virtual networking, monitoring. So it depends. This is just like a general estimate of how the question will flow. You might have Azure identities more in your exam, or you might have monitor and backup resources. I really don't know how Microsoft spin these questions for every exam you take, but this is just like a general estimate of the type of questions you'll be facing. I think I downloaded, so I used this to prepare. I tried to understand, and one great thing is their doc, very, very important. You have to read their docs, and you can try the mid-level projects. They have some really nice projects, especially if you have, like, for when I wanted to pick up the Kubernetes, because that was one of the first things I remembered after failing that first exam. So let me see where Kubernetes is. Once, I think it is the rule-based, this Active Directory. I thought I saw Kubernetes. Well, Kubernetes has to be part of this thing, because and the questions on Kubernetes were something that I had to take my time to work on. Okay, now see, yes. So now this is in deploy and manage Azure compute resources. Before, these ones weren't really there. These guys were not there. See, these guys were not there. So this one was added recently once you start doing Az104. In Az103, these guys were not there. So now how I picked this up was I just like Google this, and you come to their doc here. You can see deploy an Azure Kubernetes cluster. You do it over and over again, maybe like two or three times. You note some of the important commands, like not like cram, but you have to understand, like kubectl. I don't call it kubectl, I just call it like kube control get nodes. So you have to understand the commands, you have to understand what exactly you are doing, just some pointers. And if you want to buy course, I can recommend the Pluralsight course. Pluralsight actually have an Azure DevOps course. I took it for a while. I used to use their free day trial, maybe free weekend, all this weekend trial that you have access to 20 something. You have access to all their courses for the weekend. That was what I was using once in a while to prepare for those. And for anything you want to learn, you can just search about it. ARM template, you search about it, you just do the ARM template Azure. So you can see, you come, you read, and most times try to implement, try something, try your hands on their portal, and also do that. Then finally, if after trying all this and you fail, there is always a particular graph that is being displayed like this. At the end of, once you submit, your results will be displayed based on this graph. So for identities and governance, you might have like 30% bar, or it's more like I think a bar chart. So you will see your strengths and your weakness from your results after you submit. If you are taking the exam, then note that, then work on that. It's not failing, it's not bad. It's just like, okay, what Microsoft is just saying is, okay, guy, you have this part, you are lagging behind there, we'd like you to work on it, and come back to retake it. You shouldn't take it to heart. And that's been how I was able to ace it. So I took it 2 days or 3 days ago, and I aced it. I had 800, I think over 800. I can't remember the exact score, but it was over 800. So that's that. And please, I'm trying to lay emphasis on the process. It's not, we're trying to understand how these things are. It's not like you should just be pressured to just go and take it, or you should be in such a hurry. No, take your time. Set a deadline, because if you don't have a timeline, you can prepare forever. So take your time, set a timeline, then in between the timeline. So if you're saying you want to start preparing for the exam this December, you can set a timeline of 3 months, then December, January, February. So January, you set up your exam for February. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So if you are going to take this exam and you're giving yourself 3 months, in between your timeline, make sure you schedule your exam just to avoid procrastination, because sometimes you can never know it all. Going in, I didn't really know everything. So there are some areas that were still okay. I just had clear understanding, and sometimes it's not really about the cramming of commands and stuff like that. You just have to know and understand, okay, this is how this connects, like this is how that connects. And if you know someone that I had a lot of people I could reach out to when I had issues. So if you have people who use Azure a lot, once in a while on a weekend, you can schedule a call with them and tap in from their knowledge, tap in from their understanding. That's actually it for this video. I hope you learned some things. And if you're taking the exam, or if you have taken the exam, you can comment your experience below or add to my advice so other people can learn from it. And if you have taken it, you didn't make it to the pass mark at the first time, I hope this video should motivate you to take it again. You should not take failure to heart. And if you're just going to take it for the first time, be calm. And I wish you good luck. I hope you learned from my experience and you see your results immediately. I think I said that you see your results immediately. So don't be scared, prepare well, and keep doing your best. So that's all for this video. I'll keep uploading more about my journey. So the next one, I think I'll tell you guys the next one I'm preparing for. So that's it.